Hello, good evening, my good people. How are you? Hi, Richard. Good evening. It's good to see you guys. I'm really excited and I'm good. Catherine Karaoke, hi. Wilfred, good evening. I can see we have a good quorum that we can go on start now. So my name is Grace Nzula. I am your host. I'm a HRN trainer. This webinar series is called Get It Right with Atara Solutions, where we demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. Today, we would like to discuss personal branding. This webinar series started last year on June 23rd. We have so far covered over 40 episodes. If you have missed any of those episodes, they're actually uploaded on our YouTube channel. We are live on Facebook right now. So if you have people who are not able to join the Zoom link, I'm gonna share the YouTube link on the chat for you to share with anyone who is not here and they're not able to join on Zoom, or they're in a matatu and stuck there and they're not able to actually join. So allow me to just give a shout out to our partners. We have Balcon Housing. They are the sole reason why we are here, obviously with Atara Solutions. Balcon Housing is a real estate and property management company. They have over 12 years experience in land and property management. We also have Pathway Solutions. Pathway Solutions is a HR training and consulting firm. We have been celebrating our 1-year anniversary, and I'm sure most of you already know what that means, and we will give a shout out to the people later. So allow me to just introduce our speaker of the day, because this topic is one that's very close to all of us and would like to take the time to actually understand it and also implement what we get to learn today. Because personal branding, I personally think it's a do or die, you know? So tonight we are discussing personal branding for business and career success. And we are privileged to host Madam Grace Matthew. Today, yes, today you're hanging out with Graces. Tonight, the Grace is literally sufficient. So Grace Matthew is an image and etiquette coach. She works with individuals on a journey as they internationally build and maintain their personal brands and image for business and career success. By the way, Grace, I'm coming for the imaging consultation. She's also a results-driven HR advisor in charge of talent management at AAA Insurance Kenya Limited, one of the leading medical insurance providers in the country. She holds a master's degree in international relations from USIU and a bachelor's degree in IT from JKUAT. Grace optimizes excellence in communication and interpersonal skills and has long record of maintaining high standards of image and office etiquette. She has been awarded twice as the Lady of Grace and Glamour and as the best dressed lady employee while working at KPMG and AAR Insurance, respectively. Besides coaching individuals on image and personal branding, she has successfully held talks on the same to corporate, religious, and learning institutions such as KPMG, AAR, Sky Plus, Vera Beauty College, Miss Tourism Kenya, Nairobi chapter, Mrs. Kenya, and Kariobangi South PCEA Church, amongst others. So my good people, our good people, you guys are in good hands. You can see she's already personally branded. I'm the one who needs the classes more. So Grace, we talk about personal branding, and it is a topic that a lot of people actually struggle with. But it's also a topic that I believe is, if intentionally and understood, it is the easiest things to do. I don't know whether we agree. But let me ask you, how can we use personal branding to succeed, whether in business or in employment or anywhere? Like, because not all of us are employees, not all of us are employers. But we are also, we have students here, we have job seekers, we have all these people. So how do we use personal branding as a means to success?
Great, thank you, and for even hosting me and inviting me to be the speaker today. I appreciate what you're doing together with Atara Solutions. As you're introducing me, I was wondering if you're actually introducing me. So thank you for introducing me to me. So yeah, so personal branding, as you said, is very important. And to note is that personal branding simply answers the question, who are you? Simply put. And with that, it is so important for anybody hiring you, anybody giving you business, anyone buying your goods to understand then who are you? Amid so many other choices that are there. So who are you? So it is absolutely important, Grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away then. Tell us, how do we use, what do we do?
Okay, so I think I'm going to, someone is complaining about the volume. Is it mine or yours?
My volume is okay. I hope, can everybody else hear us? Just so we can address the volume. Can you hear us now? Volume is okay. Okay, probably it's yours, Gracie. Please check your volume as well. Yeah, Samuel says it's okay. Joanne says it's fine. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Just a minute. Let me share my screen. Grace, you let me know when you can see my screen.
I can
The first slide?
Yourself. Yes, personal branding with yourself there.
Yes, I love myself too much. So this is, welcome to this session. It should be a very interactive session because personal branding is everybody, whether they like it or not, they're a brand. And so everyone should be very keen to know more about their brand and what they can do to build the brand that they desire. And from this presentation, I'm hoping that by the end, time allowing, Grace, that by the end of the presentation that at least we'll have understood what personal branding is. We'll have understood how you can discover your brand because not everybody knows what their brand is. And then once you discover, then create it and communicate it, because you just like any other product, once you build it, you also need to shout about it. You need to make noise about it. So this is what I'm hoping that by the end of today will be clear to all the participants who are here. And thank you to everybody who has joined. And Grace, personal branding, simply put, is the process of how we market ourselves to others. So I'm sure in here we have people who are constantly talking about what they do. If they're in business, they're constantly talking about what they sell, but rarely do people talk about them, marketing them as a person. And so personal branding shifts the focus from everything else, the business, whatever it is that you're employed to do, to you as the person. And so you start selling the brand called you. So I start selling the brand called Grace. You start calling, now for this session, you'll be Nzula. Is that okay? So we have Grace and Nzula. So you start selling the brand that is Nzula. So that is what personal branding is. At times, I think it sounds very complex or complicated, but it's just about making noise about yourself and telling people why they need to know you and why they need you and why you're the best option amidst all other options that are outside there. So that is what personal branding is. And your brand, so whether you like it or not, as it is today, I can't see the other names, but I'll use Grace for today's presentation. See, she's the one I'm constantly seeing on my face. Grace, whether you like it or not, you're already a brand. Outside there, if you ask people who you are, what they know you for, they already have a perception or an idea of what they've branded you to be. So, and that brand that they have in their minds is informed by how your interaction with them over time has left them thinking or perceived you from the interactions. And mainly it's because of maybe how you spoke when you met and what they saw you doing, what they see you doing, how you send your emails. There's just a language that people use. And some of us who do emails a lot, I'm sure there are times you receive an email and you can tell, even without reading, when you read it, even without seeing where it has come from, you can tell this is so-and-so way of talking or writing. How you respond, when people talk to you, how do you respond? They say that you have no control over what people tell you or what information comes to you, but you have control over how you respond. So that also contributes to your brand and how you interact with people, whether it's on the streets, whether it's the mama mboga that sells right outside your gate, whether it's the watchman, whether it's your teacher, everybody, how you interact with them also helps build your brand. What you post on Facebook, I know today a good population of us here on social media, whether on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. If I go to your Facebook page right now and Twitter and Instagram, I'll be able to sort of come up with a rough idea of who you are even before meeting you. And my question to you, and all that will describe who you are. That's the brand that is outside there, whether you've been building it intentionally or otherwise, but that is what is outside there. And it's informed by your daily interaction with people. And so my challenge to you today would be, just figure it out in your head. You know the answer, you'll have the answer in your head. It's a challenge then. So today, if I took, or rather I spoke to 10 people who interact with you on a day-to-day basis, or maybe they interacted with you once, and I cut these interactions from the office, from the people who interact with you when you go to the salon, to the barber, the lady you buy goods from on a daily basis. I go home and pick a few relatives, put them together, 10 to 20 people who have interacted with you, and ask them, tell me who Nzula is. What do you know her for? I'm wondering what they would say, because that is your brand. Whether you like it or not, that is what is outside there. So right now, just start thinking what people have branded you outside there. And we'll see a place where I'm telling you that if you don't intentionally brand yourself, people will do. So you better be intentional about building your brand, so that then people are not just building a brand outside there that you're not happy about. So that is what your brand is. And your brand communicates 3 key things: who you are, number 2, what you do, and most importantly, what makes you different from everybody else. So just like we go to the supermarket, most of us who go to the shopping, when you go for shopping, most of the time you already know what brand you want to pick because of either how you know that brand. Some will come and say, fine, this is Omo, it cleans your clothes. But on top of that, they will add, removes all stains or removes all stubborn stains, or now they start bringing in the unique differentiator. So every brand is unique, and it describes in a very unique way what solution it provides. So a brand should be able to answer those 3 questions: who you are, what you do, and what makes you different from everybody else. Because you can imagine the world we are in right now has so many solutions, so many options to go to. And so it makes it really easy for anybody to choose. Once you distinguish yourself and people are able to pick out why you and not anybody else amidst all the options that are there. And this is, to just summarize in a nutshell, the value, as Grace had asked at the beginning, why is personal branding important? And personal brands allow individuals to differentiate themselves by consistently, take note of the word consistently, meaning your brand needs to be consistent. You cannot be one thing today, 2 months down the line, we see something else. By the time 6 months are down, we are seeing something else. So we really don't know who you are. You're not consistent. So consistently articulating and leveraging their unique value proposition. So anytime you're talking about a brand, it's important to take note that it differentiates, it's consistent, and has a unique value proposition. So that is what a personal brand and personal branding is. So to the point of how then do I discover my brand? Because most people will say, then what's my brand? Do I even have a brand? So you have to answer the question, who are you? So Grace here introduced herself at the beginning and said that she's a HR expert. That right there is addressing the question who she is. Then what do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what do you want to be known for the rest of your life? She has already said that she's a HR expert. And I don't know whether, Grace, that's it. Is there something else you usually add to your description? So HR expert, the fact that she has already put there HR expert tells you that there's a lot within HR. She's not an IT expert. She's not a BSc expert. She's not an engineer. She's clear. she's not just any other expert, she's a HR expert. That's what she's telling us. That is her unique differentiator. That's who she is. So for us today who are trying to ask, then how can I discover my brand? You have to start asking the first question is, what is it that you want to be known for? So that is a very key question that you must address. Then as we move on, where you start is that you must first set your goals in terms of answering the question, who you are. And a very good example when it comes to discovering your brand that I can give you here is the people we have in our country who like to just take on politics. If you realize people who are interested in joining politics are usually on a journey. They know what they want to achieve. So if it's 3 years from now, and I know I want to be the governor of a certain place, you realize that I'll start doing a few things differently. I'll all of a sudden probably just start being available to talk to the people. I'll start being involved in projects around my area, be it the village. So I'll start providing solutions. If there are harambes, I will be there. You know, probably I was just a businessman, but now I become a bit more generous. You know, I'm using the politicians because they are just one of the people that most of us can relate to. So I'll start being generous and start taking my donations to schools. Then every other time I'll be consistent. Probably if I decide I'll be sponsoring schools towards maybe needy kids, I'll pick up one project. I know one who decided to give all the schools water tanks. So he made sure that in the village, all schools, all primary schools had water tanks. And you know, water, that area, water was quite a big deal. So within 3 months, he was put, or within the next election, he wanted to be an MP. And after that, his target is to be a governor, and he became a governor. But the journey just didn't start in a day. What he started doing is he decided that the goal was to become a politician. And for that matter, I think he actually wanted to be governor, but he knew he needed to start somewhere. So he started making the necessary steps of making himself known in the village, appearing more, contributing in their projects, and not just projects. He was very specific. He started donating tanks, and every primary school now had a tank. And so they knew him as the person who has provided the tanks, and that is the issue that he was addressing. What they didn't know is that this gentleman had set goals, and this was his vision, was to become the governor. And now he was working on his mission, and he knew what his target is. So even you today, I want to challenge you that you must have a plan. What is it that you want to be known for? So, and start working towards that. Have goals, just like the companies we work for. There is a mission, there is a vision, and there are values. Because for your brand to stay strong, you need to have values that guide you. What is it that is acceptable to you, and what is unacceptable? What is it that you can do, and what you cannot do? What can you tolerate? What can't you tolerate? Those are some of the things that will be informed by your values. Then you also now need to start working on a personal brand statement. A personal brand statement is about 1 to 3 lines and usually addresses your unique value proposition, who you are, the 3 questions that we described there, who you are and what you do and your unique value proposition. Not so long, just 3 sentences. And then you need to build a board of directors. I don't know if the people logged in here, the people who have brands, I don't know that you're already having a board of directors. Board of directors are people who are very honest with you. They'll tell you things as they are, no sugarcoating. You know, if they tell you, Grace and Nyewe, there is this one, Atara solutions on this one, you're flat. You need to add spices. When they give you that feedback, you take it because you believe in them, you believe in their values, and you know that they wish the best for you. So as you're building your brand, and I did mention that building your brand is a journey. It's not something you'll do in a day. It's a journey, it takes time. And so it's a journey of improvement, discovery, creation, you know, keeping on getting better with time. And so the board of directors are going to come in to just keep on giving you valuable feedback, you know, which you take with a good heart. You know, you're just happy that the feedback came through, because today people are not so generous with genuine feedback. People will tell you what they want you to hear, even when they know it's not what it is that they should be telling you. So it's very important for you to have a board of directors, people whose opinion you trust and you take seriously. I would like to show you an example of a personal brand statement from this gentleman who is the head of industry at Google. So Franklin addresses what his unique value proposition is, how long he has been in the market. Remember, your personal brand statement should not be so long, and it should be straight to the point. So he says his innovation is in his blood. So right here, you can tell that he's keen and he's good at innovations. And he seeks to find ways to adapt when needed and disrupt when possible. He tells you that he has been at it for 15 years, and he has been at the forefront for digital evolution and transformation as an interviewed business strategist, thought leader, functional operator, and he has been called on to develop solutions and technologies that have enabled stronger customer engagement, retention, and loyalty. So that is somebody who has their brand statement very clear. I don't know whether it's convincing. If you are somebody who was looking for such a talent, I'm not sure that you'd be convinced that this is the best person to have. And he summarizes the same on his LinkedIn profile, and we shall come and see why LinkedIn is important. So from his LinkedIn, when you go there, you can see that there's consistency in what he says here and what is on his social media platform. So your personal brand statement has got to be consistent. Grace, I don't expect to go to a different forum, and now instead of you being a HR expert, I hear something else. I will be very confused. Your brand needs to be consistent. You know, how you are known needs to be consistent. So that is an example of a personal brand statement. I hope from today's session, somebody will be able to build a personal brand statement, because it quickly introduces you to the people that your target audience. So I have questions for you as you're trying to discover your brand. And these questions are questions that will help you as you're discovering your brand, because most people ask questions, how do I know my brand? What is a brand anyway? You know, we've already addressed what a brand is, but then how do you discover what your brand is? One of the things you need to answer is, what are your passion? What is your passion? You know, what are your talents? What are you gifted in? Because every one of us has something that they do so well and uniquely well that nobody else can do it the way they do it. So ask the question, what is it that you're passionate about? Passionate in the sense that even if you're not paid to do it, you'll still do it. You know, I keep telling my friends that even if you don't pay me to tell you how to look good, I'll tell you. You know, I'll even walk you to the shop to buy the clothes that will make you look good, even if you don't pay me, even if you don't tell me thank you, because that's my passion. Then what are your goals? And we have all seen that then how we develop goals, what it is that you want to do. I've given you the example of the politician. What are you known for and what makes you unique? You know, every one of us is unique. What are you currently perceived in your personal and professional relationships? Because that tells you what your brand is right now. If you like it, good. If you don't like it, then it means you need to work on it a bit. Then what questions do you have answers to? Because then that helps you, just like Franklin, be able to say that I'm an innovator. You know, what questions do you have answers to? And how do others describe you? The easiest way to know what your brand is and what your strengths are, is to listen to what others are telling you about you. Because if you hear 10 people telling you one thing about you, it's consistent, then it tells you it's there. Just like they say, where there is smoke, there is fire. So if you have 20 people in your circle telling you, Grace, you're good at this, then just know you're good at that. Even if you don't believe in it, you might as well start believing in yourself and building it. Some other questions will be, what's your niche? You know, what's your target market? And Grace, you're a HR expert, and that explains who your niche are. You know, as you said, you're not in any other profession. Just by being clear that you're a HR person in training, then automatically it's clear who your niche is. What do your online profiles say about you? You know, that is telling a lot about your brand outside there. That is what is speaking when you're not speaking. If I'm told there is a HR expert outside there, just go and Google HR expert in Kenya. What comes up there for Grace is what I'm going to read and believe. If I never ever find Grace, that is all I have to know about you. So that tells you that you really need to be intentional about what your online profiles say, because they are speaking on your behalf. interesting. I'm sure some of us have never done this, but I want you to encourage, even if you can do it now as I'm talking, go to Google and type yourself, Grace Matthew, Grace Nzula. Go and find out what people are finding you when they Google. You know, I once went to Google and Googled myself, and I found my profile for undergraduate is one that was popping out, you know, when I was taking my degree in IT. And I was like, no, this does not reflect the current me. And so I had to be very intentional about updating the content that is outside there about me. Because everyone was Googling me, was just finding that I'm an IT person, an auditor, and that I felt was not the current reflection of what I am right now. So Google yourself is something you can do even as we are talking. Surprise yourself. I hope the surprise will be good. But the best thing is that you don't have to stay there. You can do something about it. You can start building a brand that you're intentional about. If you don't like what you find on Google, then what do you want to achieve? Just like Franklin said here, that he's an innovator, and for something he has been doing for the last 15 years, and he wants to be the go-to person for all your innovative ideas. So what do you want to achieve? What is your industry sector? You know, if you're in business, what industry are you? Because then you will have to understand your industry well, understand who else is in that industry, and know how you can address a unique gap that is there. Because you're not, as a brand, you're not there to be like everybody else. You're not there to fit in. Remember, you're unique. And so you need to understand who are the players in your industry, what are they doing, what gap is there, and what solution can you bring, what answers can you answer that are unanswered. So you're not there to do exactly what others are doing. You're there to provide a very unique solution or unique value proposition. Then what communication style do you want to project? You know, today we've gone digital. In most of the communication is digital. So we will find that there are some communication styles that are with time getting obsolete. Like we are here at this time. Otherwise, Grace would have called us to a certain destination and told us there's a training on this, and we all show up. But look, here we are in a virtual meeting and learning. So those are some of the questions that we need to understand. I'm sure, Grace, you had to do this. You had to rebrand yourself. As you said, it's 1 year. This was not happening 2 years ago. So this is a new way of communicating that you have come up with, which is adjusting to the times that we are in. So moving on, we have defined our brand. Now we want to create a brand, and that brand needs to stand out. So we already know now what we want to do. We have claimed our niche in the mind. We already know who our niche is. Now we want to put it on paper. We want to put it online, because we have to make noise about it. You know, we cannot create a brand and then we sit on it. So we have to put it on paper. We have to put it online so that people know that that brand exists. You know, just like those of us who do products or sell products in business, you cannot create a brand and then you don't put it out to the shelves for people to buy. Or you don't tell people that this brand now exists. Once you have developed it, then you have to also create it and let people know that we have this unique product that you have created. You know, and when you create a product and you're putting it outside there, if it's unique, if it has a unique value proposition, you will not struggle to tell people that you're a big deal. People will see. You know, it's just like if you're smart, you don't have to keep telling everybody, come, tell me, do I look good? You know, what do you think? If you're smart, and everybody will come to you and tell you, Grace, you're looking good. The same way with your brand. If you have a very unique brand, you will know by the response you get from people. They will not have to keep on wondering, how do I tell people that I'm a big deal, I'm an innovator, you know? So it will just sell itself outside there. So as you're creating your brand, you'll also realize that your outlook matters, you know? So you may need to create new professional photos, because now you realize that, well, like now Grace, what she does, she calls me and tells me, Grace, as I'm hosting you, I need to do a flyer and you need to send me a photo. So you can imagine if the photo that I have last was the one that I took 5 years ago, or I actually didn't have a photo, you know, you just need to have a photo that communicates who you are. And if we had time, Grace, I would ask people to just type in and tell me when they saw the flyer saying personal branding and the person that was there, what came to mind? You know, did it resonate with the person, or they were left wondering, what will this one tell us about personal branding? You know, she needs it herself, because photos speak, you know, they are visual representation of even before people meet you. So some of us today, I will want to see what is on your Facebook profile. I hope you've not put a cat. You know, if you're a serious professional in business and meaning to do business and intentional about building your brand, I don't expect to go to your social media platforms and find an object. You know, I mean, we are human, we are visual, we interact with people, visual, brands we can see. So if you tell me that, Grace, you're a HR expert, I want to see you. I want to see what you look like. I want to see whether you look like that expert. So some of us may need to actually book for a photo shoot this weekend to project their brands, you know, after they have defined their brands. Then how can you show your knowledge and story online? You know, because we are now digital. You're not going to sell your brand in a book. Yes, it's good. In a flyer, it's good. The ones that are printed out. There is a company profiles that are printed. Yes, that is good. But then how many people will you reach? Because good population right now is virtual, is digital, they're online. So they need to know your brand. You need to sell your brand outside there. You know, if you're saying that you are a HR expert, Grace, I want to believe that your pages are talking about HR and expert areas in HR. So we want to see that knowledge that you're talking about in your online stories. And I can tell, at least when I went there, I saw various people that you have posted who are subject matter experts. So meaning you're intentional about being a trainer and addressing areas around training. So when I go to your online stories, I want to find your expertise displayed there. I need to know what answers you have, or what answers you have, what solutions you carry by what I find on your online stories. You may need to choose a name and a slogan that you want to be known for, you know. You know, some of us will be, I don't know what your slogan is, but you'll see you in our companies and everywhere where we work in our products. I'm sure we have a slogan that we use where you'll say, some people have stage names. So you will be telling people the best that there is, you know, your number one go-to for this and this, just a slogan that introduces you. Some of us will need to choose that after this session, so that then you're not just saying your Grace who, Grace the coach, Grace the best marketer, Grace the who. We need to have a title around it. Then how will you stand out, and what is your strategy? So those are some of the things that you must address when you're creating your brand, because as you have said, we are in a very competitive world. If your brand is not standing out, you miss out on so many opportunities. Because think about it, there are so many students who are graduating every day. I mean, every other day, people are graduating and joining the job market. How will an employer choose the best? It's the one who sells themselves best in that. From how you enter that exam interview room, how you're dressed, everything about you needs to stand out, so that then the recruiter has an easy time picking out the best, you know, because also time is of essence. They don't want to take so much time to choose. So if we can make it easy for them to choose you, the better. If you're not a student today, you're employed and you're definitely looking for a better job prospect. Whether you're an accountant, whether you're a HR person, whether you're an engineer, why should they pick you? You know, there are so many other engineers. If they go to LinkedIn right now and Google engineers, they'll find. But why should they pick you out? So you have to have a unique value proposition that makes you stand out, so that people will say, oh, he's not just an engineer, there's something else. If you noticed, Franklin was very quick to mention that he was named in the top 40 under 40. That already makes him stand out and tells, and if any interviewer was reading that, they'll be quick to pick on him just for that one thing and want to know him more, because it helps him stand out. Then as you market yourself, you will need a personal branding toolkit. So a personal branding toolkit is the sum of all marketing material you should develop for your brand. It helps people to easily view what you're about. And we are going to see what your personal brand toolkit should contain. Your wardrobe, whether you like it or not, human beings, I said, are visual, and they will judge you based on what you look. Before you open your mouth, before you start introducing yourself, I'm sure, Grace, if you hadn't put my camera, if I had just put my camera on and you haven't introduced me, even before you spoke, people would have already had a perception about me based on how I look. And they would have decided, some will even say, okay, all right, okay, she's the one who's going to tell us about personal brand. You know, how you look tells people a lot about you. And at times it may sound unfair, but it is fact that people will have a perception, 90% perception about who you are within the first 10 seconds of meeting you. People will judge you and have a 90% perception about you within the first 10 seconds of meeting you. So what does that tell you? Because within the first 10 seconds, you haven't spoken. You probably have not even introduced yourself. You just probably walked into the room or into a meeting. They looked at you, they looked at how you looked, they looked at how you carried yourself, your body language, and just decided this is you. So that tells you that as you're working on your personal branding toolkit, your wardrobe is important, and your wardrobe should, remember, be aligned to the brand that you have defined and the brand that you're creating. So I'm not saying that you should be dressed in a certain way. Remember, you have a niche, you have a target market. So if your goal and your vision is to be a comedian, for example, you need to buy a wardrobe that reflects what comedy is all about, so that people can easily look at you and know this one is a comedian. If you're an artist, if you're outside there and you are an artist, there is just a way artists dress. They are all out. There's just something that stands about. Is it their hair being yellow or a mixture of yellow and white? There is just something, their clothes being worn in a certain way, or maybe it's just a design. You're left wondering, is it a design? Is it a trend? But it's because they're artists, that's their profession. If you're like Grace, who is probably in a professional corporate world, you will have a certain way of dressing. If you're in a certain profession, I'm just saying, it is based on the profession you're in. There is no right or wrong way to wear. It should be guided by your audience, who your niche is, and what your goal is, what it is that you want to achieve. Your business card, your business card just tells people what business you're in. What is it, what value is it, what business are you in, what questions do you have, or what answers do you have, So the business card basically will introduce your professional you to the people. Your resume, for the people who are in the job market or in the employment, or even if you have a business, you must have a profile. If you're a consultant, you have a bio, something summary that summarizes your academics, your professional background, what it is that you have studied, what is it that people can know you have answers to. So you must have a resume. You need to have a portfolio. A portfolio basically tells people what your journey has been like, because at times people will want to hear what you have done before to trust you with what they want you to do in the future. So you need to, like Franklin has said, he's been an innovator for the last 15 years. So he has a portfolio. He can tell you what clients he has worked for, what engagements he has been involved in. So you need to have that. It helps you brag a bit, make noise about yourself. Remember, personal branding is about just marketing yourself. So these are some of the toolkits that you can use to market yourself, a website or a blog. This has become quite common today. People will even have a domain in their name. So you'll have grace.com. Go all out to stand out. So try to be different. People today don't want to be like anybody else. So you'll find people have personalized their websites, and then blogs have become very common, so very popular, and they have a lot of following. So that's another place. If you're a writer, for example, a blog is a great place to market yourself. Then there is the LinkedIn. I want to believe that any person listening to me who is a professional in their area is on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is where professionals meet. Today, this is where job hunters are going, and recruiters. This is where recruiters are going. So you're wondering why jobs are not being flashed in a certain website. It's because people have already found their solutions in LinkedIn. They went there, they typed, they found the best, and they got the best candidate. So if you're very serious in the professional world, then you need to be on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has a very huge market in terms of your profession, people who you can interact with and grow, sharpen each other. And it allows you put in your personal brand statement. It allows you put your CV. It allows you, it's just that professional page that allows you put together all these documents in a very professional way and in a detailed manner. Then on Twitter, Facebook, market yourself. Remember, it's all informed by your niche. You don't have to be on Facebook if you feel that your niche is not on Facebook. You don't have to be on Twitter if the people you're targeting are not there. So you have to establish who your target market is, and then where are they, on what social media platforms are they, and then you go there. Videos on YouTube, if you're the people who provide subject matter experts, you need to be on YouTube. I was challenged the other day by my board of directors, and I was told, you must be on YouTube, we have to listen to you. I was a bit hesitant. I just wanted to throw articles, but I was told, no, you must be on YouTube. So again, board of directors, take feedback from people and because we say the brand is a journey. Personal branding is a journey. So you keep getting better with time, keep sharpening it. So we have created a brand. Now we want to communicate the brand. So we defined it. We have created it. Now we must communicate it, because you can't cook a very good meal and then you don't serve it. You have to serve it. So we are saying create the content and make sure you share it. That your brand, whatever it is, you can't have a very good CV. You have studied. You have taken time to do professional courses. You have gone an extra mile and even won awards while at it, and then nobody knows about it. How will they know about it if you don't communicate? If you don't brag and say, we won this, I won this as Grace, I have done this, I was in the top 40 under 40. You have to communicate so that people can know about it. So showcase your content to the world, and most importantly, remember to maintain your target audience. Not every brand is for everybody. I mean, that is why we have all the shelves in the supermarket packed with different brands, because everybody goes for what they want. So different brands are not, some of us could be going straight to a certain brand and leaving others, but that other brand we are leaving out is somebody else's choice. So always remember who your target audience is, and remember that is your play field. So as you communicate your brand, and a few things that you need to do even as you communicate your brand, you will need to create a quick, simple, memorable statement describing who you are and what you offer. And I have demonstrated this in the previous slide by Franklin, the head of market innovation at Google. Make sure that it is simple. It is something you can remember. I'm sure some of you can already remember what Franklin said. Like, I remember innovation. He said he's an innovator for the last 15 years, and then he's a leader. He's a transformative leader. So it needs to be quick, simple, and memorable. I challenge each one of us to have a personal brand statement, because, and besides this, I would also encourage people to have an elevator speech, because all of us have people who don't to market ourselves to, and you don't know when those people will come your way. So should they come to you in a manner that in a time you are not expecting, should be able to quickly sell yourself to those people in a way that leaves them wanting to know more about you and even invite you for more discussion. Then choose 2 or 3 social media platforms that you need to be on. Because you've said you have a target audience, you have a niche. Where are those target audience? Where are they? Where are these target audience of yours? It could be on Instagram, it could be on Facebook, it could be on Twitter, it could be on YouTube. So identify where your target audience, the people you want to make noise about yourself. Remember, you are marketing yourself. So if you are a student who is looking for a job, where are the people who are hiring? Where are they found? You need to be there. If it's somebody who is trying to get another job besides where they want to grow. So where are those people that you would like to employ you? Where are they found? You have to identify who is it that you want to work for, and where is it that they get their talent from. Then you need to be on that platform, because how else will they know you? If you're selling goods today, where are your customers? I see a lot of things being sold on Facebook, from clothes to shoes to handbags. And I believe those who are in that business would tell us whether for people to keep posting things, it means they are selling. The audience is there. If you're providing services, which is the most ideal platform? Where are your people? What services are you selling? For Grace, I'm sure she can sell a lot on LinkedIn, for example, because people are there, the people who need training, and the people, the HR people who need to get those trainings are on LinkedIn. So Grace must be on LinkedIn to be able to market herself. So as you're choosing the 2 to 3 social media platforms, you need to keep remembering who your target audience is all the time. That should be at the back of your mind, because then your marketing strategy will not be effective. You'll be marketing to the wrong people. The right thing, you'll be marketing the right brand, but to the wrong target audience. Then that will not be effective. Then you need to create original content that expresses your personal brand, original in the sense that be unique. Remember, you're not doing what everybody else is doing. And I was telling somebody earlier today, don't be a cheap copy when you can be a very expensive original, because you're unique in what you do. What most of us try to do is to copy what you saw someone else doing, because you saw Grace is hosting these webinars every Tuesday. Now you decide you'll be doing the exact same thing Tuesday, but during the day. Grace is doing it at 9, now you do yours during the day. But is it something you believe in? Is it something that you understand? Grace could have had her reason for choosing this, but it needs to be original and something that you own, Then become an expert in your field. You cannot call, Grace, you cannot tell us that you're a HR expert, and then when you come to you with questions, you don't have answers. By virtue of you being an expert, you expect that you have answers. The fact that I am here talking to you about image, I have to demonstrate that I'm an expert in that area, and I'm constantly growing in it and sharpening my skills. Thank you to people like Grace, who will give us platforms to meet people like you. So become an expert in that area. And again, being an expert is also a journey, and then be consistent, because your customers or the people it is who are your target market appreciate consistency. Even you, I'm sure today you do appreciate consistency with the products and the people you're working. You don't want somebody who displays themselves in a certain manner today. When you come tomorrow, they are different. You are coming because of the interaction and how they left you feeling yesterday. But when you come today, they are totally different. Probably yesterday they were so resourceful, they were kind, they sounded like experts, but now when you come to them the next day, you're finding a totally different perception. You're having a different perception about that person. One of the things that will keep people coming to you is being consistent. Think about even the products that you keep buying. Some of you, the reason you're still using that oil is because it has consistently given you the same results. Some of you, the reason why you'll specifically probably get a specific car is because they are consistent in whatever the feeling it gives you when you're driving it. Small things, even be it milk. I'm sure there are so many brands of milk outside there, but someone will tell you, I only do this brand. I only do this brand. And they have a reason why they are consistent with that particular. Maybe the taste is consistent. So be consistent. And as I come to the end of it and invite your questions, I'll want you to discover. We have said you have to discover your brand. It's a journey. Remember that it's a journey. So start by discovering what your brand is, then create it. Once you discover what it is that you want to be known for, start creating it. Then once you have created it, make noise about it. Communicate it to the people. Let them know that I am so and so, and I do this and this and this. I have these solutions for you. Once you communicate it, please maintain it. Be consistent. Don't solve our solutions for 1 year. Then next year, we are looking for Atara solutions. We can't find them. We want you to be there. In any case, you only get better, because we have said you have to keep on improving our brands. So don't solve our solutions. Don't give our solutions easier. 2022, when we are coming, we cannot find you. We need you to be consistent and to keep doing what you're doing the way you do it, or get better. So one of the things that I want to tell you is that if you're not building your brand, you can be sure that others are doing it. So you have to be intentional and you have to be deliberate about building the brand that you're building outside there. If you don't make noise and be intentional about just making the brand that you want to go outside there, projecting the brand that you want to go outside there, The brand that is outside there will continue being there, and it's being informed by how you interacting with people on a daily basis. You remember the things we mentioned on the first slide, how you talk to people, how you respond to their emails and their texts, how it is that your Facebook pages look like. Even if you don't get intentional about building those pages and communicating the brand that you want to communicate, just know that we're building a brand for you. So you'll go outside there and you'll be introduced to your brand and you're saying, who are you talking about? But it's because that is what you have been sending out unknowingly. So you better get intentional from today about the brand that you want to communicate, so that then you're not leaving it the control of the people outside there. You're in control of your brand. And then the right people will find you if you're authentic in what you believe. So you'll be found. Remember, for people to find you, you need to be somewhere. If they can only find you if you're somewhere, we need to find you somewhere. I need to Google Atara and find you somewhere. You need to be outside there to be found. And then if you're authentic, authentic, and remember we talked about having values, and just being very genuine in terms of what you offer. And that is why we talked about passions, because then you're able to own them, because this is you and in what you believe, and your values, that will be communicated through your values. So thank you for listening, and I'll be answering your questions now. Thank you, Grace. I hope I kept within your time. Grace had told me that I need to give enough time for question and answer, and she has a 1 hour window. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you very much. I think we have really, really, really learned a lot. And thank you for being calm and sharing your wisdom and knowledge and discovery. I really love what you've done with your brand. I can tell that the hairstyle is consistent from since we were in Mombasa in March to now.
Yeah, true. Grace, I must tell people that when I met you in Mombasa in the Women in HR conference, I really made noise about my brand. Otherwise, I will not be here.
Actually,
I will not be here.
You made sure to follow me until you are here today, 6 months later.
And it has borne fruit.
Yes, it has. I am really, really grateful. Now it's 8:56. Allow me to just inform you, this webinar is brought to you by Atara Solutions in partnership with Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company. Balcon Housing is a real estate and property management company. So we have an anonymous, okay, first of all, Regan is asking whether we will share the notes. I don't know whether you'll be sharing the presentation, Gracie.
Sure, I will.
Okay. And then there's an anonymous attendee who is saying, what if you haven't gone to college, but it's your talent and you perfect it you're perfect in what you're doing? How do you probably build a brand around that?
Say that again, Grace, please.
You have not gone to college. You have not gone to college, but you have talent and you are perfect at what you do. How do you package that?
Already, that's already a brand, because the person says they already have a talent and they are good in what they do. You do not, remember, the brand there's nowhere in your building the brand where we talked about school. We are talking about your unique value proposition. What is it that you can do? What is it that you can do in a way that only you can do and do it well? It will help you stand out. So it doesn't have to do, and we said personal branding is a journey. So you just start where you are. If along the way you need to go back to school, you will. But we start where you are. Remember, people will buy into the brand based on how you market it and how you convince them. And rarely will people look at the brand and then come and ask you, but where are your papers? If you're good at what you're doing first, they'll be sold off. And so what I can advise the person is to just be good at that, is whatever it is that they have realized they are good at, perfect it at that, because most of the time people are going for the value, So start providing the value at that which it is that you're good at. I'm sure you will stand out because you're already believing in yourself. And the moment you believe in yourself and you're standing out, then people will start coming to you. What you need to probably do is, you didn't specify what it is that you're good at, but you need now to start putting it outside there. Who knows that you're good at that? Have you told anybody? Do your networks know that you actually are good at that? Because at times the reason people will not manage to maybe have their brands out there, is because nobody knows about it. And that is why today we are saying, make noise about, market yourself. Let somebody know. I mean, I went into a ladies' meeting earlier this year and I told Grace, Grace, this is what I do. This is what I am doing. This is what I'm building, you know? And because of talking, she has not only broadcasted me to people, but to a lot other people. So whatever it is that you're good at, believe in yourself and start knowing. At the moment Grace said that she's an HR expert and she holds these webinars, I knew she was the sort of person I needed to talk to. So even you, whatever you're good at, if it is, for example, making chapatis, I expect that you go to the nearest hotels near you and let them know that you make good chapatis, or go to your neighbors, the WhatsApp groups. Nowadays, there are so many WhatsApp groups, even for the estate. Can they at least know that you make good chapatis? Because let me tell you, if you don't make noise about yourself, nobody will. I can assure you, not very many people will. You have to make noise about yourself, then they'll catch up with you later. So start making noise about it. Let people know about it, and before you know it, you will have more opportunities coming your way. Along the way, you'll be able to go back to school, but that should not stop you right now.
Okay, Zaverio, Zaverio is saying, people may doubt what you say, but they will believe what you do. That was a contribution which I thought made a lot of sense. I'm looking for a question by Paul Mboro, who said, is portfolio same as work experience?
Yes. It actually tells people what you have done in the past, because most people will want to see what other people have you done this for before they can trust you with their future. So you'll go back and tell them, I did this for this and this, I did this for this organization, you know, of course, relevant to what your people are looking for. But yes, that's what a portfolio is all about.
Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I have a slogan. My slogan is changing the world through information. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Just saying. Fine. I'm looking for a question because Paul's question was way above. And somebody was asking, what if I put my kid in my social media pages and is WhatsApp status part of the marketing part?
I don't know why you'd want to put your kid, because remember, you are promoting your brand, the brand you, and what you want to be known for. So I have a lot of friends I've really challenged when they put some profile photos and ask them, what exactly are you trying to communicate? Because whether you like it or not, whatever it is you put out there is communicating something. And that is why we said you have to be intentional. So if, Grace, you're really intentional about communicating your brand, rarely will you then, unless, I don't know, but I would like to see what your branding statement is. Because if you're there, if one of the things there you have put is mother, you know, there are people who are very keen saying, I'm a mother. And so you want, even if people come to your pages, they confirm that you're a mother. It could be because you want to be consistent, but I'm thinking you're selling your unique value proposition, meaning it is you as a person, maybe as to the market, whether you're looking for a job opportunity, a business opportunity. It's just like, sorry, let me interrupt and say about, and I don't know if anybody has the ring back tones. You know those tones that you call somebody and there's a song behind there. At times I get those and I wonder if I was a recruiter or I was looking to do serious business with this person, would I really do business with them? Because you listen to what that ringback tone is saying and you can already decide, make a very quick decision that you don't want to engage that person. So it's the same way. If Grace is here saying I'm an image and etiquette coach, and then when you go to my social media profiles, you're finding a bit of inconsistency. And you will check even on my social media platforms. I don't know whether that page is still showing. You need to be consistent, even in the way you name your social media platforms. I don't want to know that you're Grace Nzula, then you have other names that we don't know about. So I go to Facebook, look for Grace Nzula, I can't find. I go to LinkedIn, look for Grace Nzula, I can't find. I go to Twitter, I go to YouTube, I can't find Grace Nzola, because you're confusing the world. We need to have a brand and be consistent, and make it just easy. We said our personal brand is making it easy for people to locate you. So at least make it easy by the name. And I don't want to forget the person who asked about the baby. The question is, what is your brand? Remember, you have defined your brand. Now you're creating your brand. So is it that in your definition of the brand, the baby was part of it? It depends, because you really have to be very, very intentional about creating the brand that you have defined and then communicate it. So if you keep having a profile picture of a baby, you will confuse your people a bit, or your brand will not be aligned, or they will skip you. Remember, your brand needs to really speak for you, such that who are able to quickly pick you out. People have so many options, Grace. I promise you, people have so many options. If these people were not logged in today, I don't know how many participants we have, but there are other webinars they would be logged into that are going on at the same time. So they chose to be here because of probably the solutions that you give and the sort of experts that you bring. So if you choose to make it so difficult for people to choose you, then you will suffer the consequences. They'll choose the next available person who has put a very beautiful profile picture of them showing that they are professionals in their area, or even put a photo of them delivering a speech or a training elsewhere, which markets them very fast. So the person putting a profile picture of a baby might lose opportunities just because of the packaging. So it's something that you need to be deliberate about.
Grace, it's already 9:05. I would request that you make your answers as short as possible. My people, just so we can get a few questions done, please be a bit patient. We will finish as soon as possible. Amina is saying, what could be the difference between personal management and personal branding?
Personal management and personal branding. Basically, if you're personal managing, then you must have a personal brand, because it is that personal brand that you're managing. So the what comes in as a difference then becomes what it is about. So personal branding is how you're marketing yourself, and personal management then is much wider, because then it means that then it involves much more how you're managing that personal brand, all the way to how you communicate it, how you deliver it to people. So it's a bit wider than personal branding. Personal branding is quite specific about how you market yourself.
There's an interesting question by James. Does your personal brand wear out with time, say at 70 years and 40 years, in contrast with emerging changes in tech? How do you reinforce your brand to ensure consistency? For example, a person like Nelson Mandela is being studied all over SA as a brand legacy, but he never emerged in the tech front as well.
Yes, because a personal brand does not really have to be about technology and all. Remember, we are defining what you want to be known for the rest of your life. And I mentioned it's a journey, which you need to keep improving. So what it meant for Nelson Mandela is that he was very consistent. Along the way, he was very consistent. So generation after generation, what was passed on from generation to generation, from time to time, was the same story. It was very consistent all the way. And your brand has nothing to do, you will keep improving it based on the trends, but it's not tied to technology, because it's just how you leave people feeling about you once you interact with them. So that can be passed on in so many ways. So what the person needs to know is that a brand needs to be very consistent, such that you're known for it for the rest of your life. Ideally, that is how brands should be. They should outlive you, you leave a legacy.
Okay. Somebody is asking, I don't know what's happening with my mic today. How do I define my audience?
Your audience is defined by what solutions you carry. Once you define what your brand is and what solutions you're providing, what question are you answering for? What do you want to provide? What is your unique value proposition? Then that automatically informs who your audience is. And that will be your target audience.
Okay. I like this question by Anne. What if I want to brand myself and my company as well, or if I have different companies with different niche each?
So you'll have different branding strategies for the different of them, because all of them are answering different questions. They're all providing solutions to different gaps, and they have different intentions. You know, their purposes are different. So you will have to work on each brand separately, guided by some of the things that I've said. Of course, my slides were few because Grace also gave me limited time. So of course, it's a whole detailed presentation on personal branding, but what you need to do is handle each brand separately. Don't combine them. So each brand has its own objective, what answers it's answering to, and its goals, its missions, brand them so.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I thought, I don't know what's happening with my mic today. The last question is, one has a brand for 15 years. By the way, we have giveaways from, as always, from Pathway Solutions. One has a brand for 15 plus years, say a finance specialist. After the 15th year, they would like to change to something technology. How can they go about this change?
That got a bit, that there's a comment there that has gotten me so distracted. Sorry, Grace, about that.
They're asking, how do they change? They've 15 years, they've been a finance specialist, but now they want to change into technology. How do they go about swapping the brand and yeah?
Yeah, so then that happens a lot. If I was to tell you my story and how I have evolved from IT to where I am now, you know it's possible. But what I'll need to tell you is that then you need to make sure that you create the new brand that you're moving into. And after you've done that, you have to now be very vigorous in communicating. Because remember, you're trying to erase the past and build something new. So for you, you might have to be a bit vigorous and have more than one media channels. You can't afford to be just on Facebook. It means you make noise everywhere where your target audience is. And it also means that then you have to be a bit more consistent. So even if you're going to do something daily, you know, keep telling people every day when you wake up that, hey, we have changed. Just like companies will move buildings and they'll tell us everywhere, including on TV, we have moved. Do the same. Communicate on all channels available. Even if you can do a TV advert, please do, and make sure you appear there in your new field, addressing questions in your new field, so that people know, oh, this person moved from this to this. So I think you really have to make sure your presence is felt. Just make noise about it in all platforms as much as you can. Let obviously even the people you remember your portfolio, all those people you worked with in the past, let them know. Let them know that you have moved, because they are the ones who know you best right now, and they can communicate to others as well.
Okay.
But that should be easy.
Okay. There's Agatha Kibai. I can see your hand is up. I'm gonna ask you to mute and ask your question. I hope this means that you wanted to talk. It was okay, fine. We have Clement Teriot who wants to speak. You can go ahead. Oh yeah, Agatha, go ahead.
I don't have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying it was great. The forum was great. It was sensational. And the Grace and Grace, personal branding, it was such a wonderful time.
Thank you. The grace is sufficient today. Before Clement comes.
Is double.
Yes. So before Clement comes, James is asking, do personal traits affect your personal brand and its development?
Yes, a lot. And that is why you have to be very intentional about working on them. If you have personal traits that you feel are not supporting your brand the way you'd want them to, then it means you have to be very, very intentional about working on it. For example, if you find that you're always responding to people in an arrogant way, in a rude way, you have to, or you get very emotional, you have to attend emotional intelligence classes, just to perfect and make sure that the brand that you're sending outside there is consistent. So yes, it does affect. It can either work for you, for your good, or some to your undoing, and therefore means you have to work on it. You have to work at changing it and you mold it to what you want it to be, including going back to a class that will teach you how to mold your personal traits to what will support your brand.
Wow, excellent, 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 Grace. Let me just award our people today, because we might just end up not giving people their giveaways. There's a training happening tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is 29th. Yes, there is a training by Pathways Solutions tomorrow. Building relationship for success in business. It will be happening from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's also mastering job interviews, which is at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Again, next week, Wednesday, there's building resilience, which is 11 to 1. Entrepreneurship 101, which is 6 to 8:30 p.m. So tomorrow, please make sure that you email Frank at pathwaysolutionsservices.co.uk for building relationship for success in business and mastering job interviews. So those are the giveaways for you. I think we have one more giveaway that we haven't given from Shishi Naturals in the celebration of 1 year. So as we finalize, because I can see time is not on our side, Clement Cheriot, allow me to just give you an opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Grace. I think we had 2 Graces today.
The Grace is sufficient.
Blessed. Yeah, I think both of you are Grace. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just very quick comments. Thank you, Grace, for the great presentation. Communication is very, very important. And then presentation. I think in terms of the wardrobe, it came to my mind. And again, I think she was saying it depends on your brand. Do you guys still remember Nyambane, the way he used to dress? Okay, now we have Walter, who is a professional in government. So some of us dress as Nyambane when we are going to present ourselves as professionals. So we need to be very careful. And I think what Grace was saying is very important. She talked about being an expert in your field. I think there is a weakness in a lot of our professionals, and in this case, even among our counselors. We want to be what we would call a general practitioner. You know, we want to do everything. And as the old saying, you know, a jack of all trades, a master of none. So I think, as you say, establish your niche so that you are able to be able to present yourself. And then lastly, if you can allow me, she talked about if you are not building that niche of yours, other people are going to do it. And I think we should be doing the SWOT analysis every time, because those areas, if we don't do it, it will be a threat. An opportunity, if we don't invest in it, other people are going to do it, and before you realize, you have been pumped over. So I would like to appreciate the Grace, the host. You have always been good. You have never disappointed. And Grace, the presenter on the brand. I've taken these trainings sometimes back, but I think you have really added on me. And unless you have that personal brand, you are not going anywhere. Let us really focus on that and build on that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to say just that one word. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clement, and thank you for your participation as well. Somebody is asking about tomorrow's schedules by Pathway Solutions. I've put it on your chat. You can copy and paste, and remember to send an email for the link. So allow me to just let you know that this webinar series is brought to you by Atara Solutions in partnership with Balcon Housing. Balcon Housing is a real estate company, and they have an offer for all our listeners. For you guys, our audience, they are selling an 8-acre plot in Nanyuki for 400,000 shillings, and you can have a payment plan. So if you're looking for a place to retire, or a place to just build a country home, or a place to just buy land and wait, then Balcon Housing, they have a Loldaiga View estate where you can buy and either wait it out or build something there. And they're selling it at 400,000 shillings to you, our audience. So if for more details, you can get in touch with me and I will link you up with Balcon. Grace, before I read out our partners, please tell us your final remarks.
I'll tell you that the world, in the fact of the matter is, Grace, is that the world has so many options available today, so many options for everything, for literally everything. With time, a lot of brands have grown. So be it whether you're a student who is looking for job opportunities, whether you're someone who is already employed and you're looking for better or growth in other areas apart from where you're employed, you're looking to change your job, that is, or your employer, whether you're in business, you're selling goods or services, just know that the options are way too many. And what that means is you need to make it easier for the people to choose you. So in an area where there are so many options available, where should I go for you? You know, I have so many options. Convince me very fast why I should go for you and not the other person. And once you've convinced me, the only way you can convince me is through your personal brand, and make noise about it, because if you're good and then you don't let us know that you're good, we will not know. So it's a challenge to all of us. Make it easy, package yourself well, so that then it's easy for people to pick you amidst so many other options that are there. So personal branding is your CV. It's your best CV.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent, Gracie. Asante sana. We have ended September strong. So our partners, we have been calling them our partners. Some of them, their giveaways, watu wa shakula, but allow us to just give them a few mentions, because without them, we wouldn't make this possible. We have Balcon Housing, Stallion Construction Company, Current Technologies, Intercity Secure Homes, Octagon Africa, Pathway Solution Services, GeoTrace, Shishi Naturals, JC Beauty, Sorel Laundry, the Career Management Center, Favored Cakes and Caterers. Thank you very much, you guys, for actually making this happen and for always being able to support us in our endeavors, and also being there for our audience, because without your giveaways, then we wouldn't make this fun. You know, some of these things are just for fun and to make the learning interesting. So my name is Grace Nzula. I am a HR consultant and trainer with Atara Solutions. Please like our Facebook page, Atara Solutions, like our Instagram page, follow us on Instagram, Atara Solutions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. By the way, if you want to catch up with this recording, we are going to upload it on our YouTube channel on Friday. So our YouTube channel is Get It Right with Atara Solutions. Yes, we have branded this as Get It Right with Atara Solutions, and we run a company called Atara Solutions. So Get It Right is a webinar series, and then Atara Solutions is the HR firm. So we have a lot of comments, Grace, from Juguna, from the other Catherine Karaoke. Thank you, Catherine, for being here today, and from everybody else. So you can indulge as we finish. Thank you so much, guys. We are beginning October strong. We will be discussing Women Fund. We are also going to be discussing, what else were we? Oh yeah, we are going to discuss talent. We are also going to discuss sales. We are going to take care of our salespeople in October. So we have the art of selling. We have Women Fund, how to access Women Fund. We also have somebody who will talk about talent and how talent has worked for them. Oh my God, we have, you know how we do it, huh? The topics are going to be lit as we end the year strong. By the way, like informed last week, we are planning an end of year meet and greet. This will be a physical meeting to end season 2 as we look forward to season 3 in 2022. Otherwise, from me, it's have a beautiful night. Thank you, Grace. You're very beautiful. I am glad you spoke to me at the Women in HR conference. If you're coming for the HR conference in October, look for me. I will be there. I hope, Grace, you can come again. And keep branding yourself, keep creating your brand, and keep shouting about your brand. Oh yeah, and come up with a tagline. We should have asked people to come up with a tagline, huh? Just for fun.
Slogan, yeah, true.
You know, I have
okay, thank you.
I have seen Damari saying, I have been graced.
Thank you, good to know. Thank you everybody, and thank you for joining in.
Yeah, so we were at 180 here and over 20 on Facebook. So,
wow.
The channel was great.
Thank you. All right, bye.
So have a good night.
So we can say bye?
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye.